Hi everyone, this is Quintessential Healing with Boroch. Happy New Year, it's 2017. Wow, did we survive 2016? It was a tough one for many, but we made it through and we're off to better horizons. So who doesn't want to hit the reset button and clean out and have better, sharper focus, more energy, feel like they're sleeping well and ready to create what they're passionate about in life? Most of us would like that. So people ask me all the time, what are the best cleanses in the new year? And there are a few, but first and foremost, people ask me about juice cleanses. And anything that's over 3 days, I'm not a real fan of unless it's supervised. Because sometimes your elimination pathways are congested and certain organ systems aren't up to par, and so this can be more intense on the body than I would like you to go through. So if you want to do a 3-day cleanse, here are some suggestions from me. One is make sure you use a base of celery, organic of course, but it has natural sodium which will maintain electrolyte balance, and use a lot of greens. So if you want to rotate between, you could even use romaine lettuce, watercress to move out heavy metals, spinach, kale, etc., but use a variety. The key with juicing is keep your sweet vegetables and fruits to a minimum. I only like Granny Smith apples really in juice. I don't like a lot of other fruits. I don't want to play on the blood sugar imbalances. And carrot and beet, which are great for the liver and the gallbladder, etc., but use small amounts, half of a carrot at a time, a quarter of a beet, because when you're doing too much of this, it's going to create those highs and lows of energy, the hypoglycemic dips, and that's not what you want to occur when you're doing juicing. So, the next thing that people ask me about is the master cleanse, which is using maple syrup and fresh lemon and lemon juice and cayenne. I'm not a fan of this one. Some body constitutions do well with this, but mine personally did not. I found that it activated hypoglycemia, which I hadn't experienced for years, and it also increased my candida in the body. So I think that this is one I'd rather you skip unless you've done this many times and it really feels good to you. I think, what I want you to move into is taking a little bit longer than 3 days, because most of us are looking for not just what we put on in the holidays as far as toxicity or weight, but we're really wanting a year in which we are taking it to the next level of quality aging. And so what am I going to recommend? Of course, the Candida Cure. Well, let me turn it the right way. So this is a 90-day program, and this is what I really recommend for everybody because it's going to go level deeper. It's going to get to the root cause of what's really inflaming your body, that's the cause of all disease. So the anti-candida diet, where we're going to remove corn, dairy, sugar, alcohol, sugars, even fermented foods like kombucha, which is wild bacteria and yeast. I'm really not a fan of that anyway. And the reason I pull those fermented foods initially is because they can create an allergy response. So after 90 days, you can integrate them and see how you feel. But when you just subtract those food groups, you're going to feel lighter and clean and lean, and you stop feeding infections such as yeast overgrowth, parasites, bacteria. But the second component in the book is about adding the detoxification and the supplementation. It's not enough to just take away those foods that are feeding infection and creating inflammation, but I feel you need to get in there and work on things such as your liver gallbladder, which I call the oil filter. So my gallbladder ABX is what I have people use the first month. The second and third month is the liver ABX. I want to work with Candida ABX, which is going to get rid of parasites and yeast and put viruses into dormancy. So you want to at least, get rid of all this infection that's brewed over many years. This is not just the holidays. This is taking many years in formation because of having too many antibiotics, steroids, hormone replacement therapy, high levels of stress, and of course, poor diet. Because everything that turns into sugar rapidly will feed candida over a lifetime. And that's alcohol, which is liquid sugar. It can be corn that turns into sugar quickly, cheeses, etc. And then I like to work with my product Gluco ABX. This is it acts kind of like your multivitamin for the month, and it really does help pancreas function, digestion, and it helps get rid of those hypoglycemic highs and lows and any blood sugar imbalances going on. Plus, it has some interesting ingredients to help you with the adrenal glands, which are these little triangles that sit on top of your kidneys, and it's your fight or flight. It would give you the energy so that you don't need your coffee, so that you don't need to have the sugar in the afternoon to keep going. So those three products are the baseline of helping detoxification. And then I love red clover tea if you don't have grass allergies. So this will help clean the blood, the lymph, much better than water well. And then I add in things like vitamin C and E. The only other ingredient that might be necessary is if you're really struggling with things like heartburn and you know that you've had a lot of GI discomfort over the past few months, then add in Repair Vite, which will seal up the leaky gut. So it will really kind of coat and soothe and heal the lining and really make this a nice, complete, tight package. And when you go to my website, the products are listed there. I also, in the book, I tell you brands of vitamin C and E that are great that you can go on to Amazon or VitaCost and save money. So it's when you put together the anti-candida diet plus the supplementation, I really feel that for most people that aren't dealing with chronic severe conditions, you're going to feel 60% better in just 1 month. And so remember, this is not about deprivation. This is about removing infection inflammation. So if you keep it more clinically based and you put your goal on that you're just working on getting rid of the inflammation, you're not going to feel deprived. And you're not going to deal with the sugar carb cravings because as you get rid of the excess fungus and yeast, bring it back into single-celled balance in that ratio of 85% good bacteria in the gut to 15% not so good, you're going to feel the cravings go away. And then also using the Gluco ABX will balance blood sugar. And those are the reasons and why you crave the carbs, you crave the sugars. So it's much easier than having to feel like you've got to put all this willpower in. And to help you along, I just want to tell you about the Candida Cure Cookbook. This is something that came out in March of last year. And it's really helpful for even those people who say, oh, I don't want to cook, I don't like to make recipes, etc. But what you're going to find is there's a lot of simple recipes in here that you can make like sauce for the week. And so you have dressings for your salads. There's a Brazil nut cheese that you could sprinkle on vegetables or salad so you feel like you're getting that cheese fix. And there's breads in there and desserts. So it really complements your program so that you're not feeling like everybody's eating all these wonderful things and your food is boring. It is not going to be boring if you get the Candida Cure Cookbook. There's lots of great things in there. So in following up on this, when you put it all together, I think all of us want to have that clarity. We want to have that energy and that vitality. And so my best recommendation for hitting the reset button is honor yourself, jump in and be motivated to commit at least 30 days because within 30 days, the average person will feel 60% better. Within 90 days, you will feel amazing. And from that place, you'll then expand your diet and try to go into a new balance point where once or twice a week you indulge in what you love, and the rest of the week stick to an expanded anti-candida diet. Because the key is we don't want to just get you feeling amazing right now. I want you to age with quality. And we do have to have more accountability because the environment is more toxic. So I hope that you honor yourself, that you make it a great January, and remember, we're not looking for perfection. So if you fall off, you have a bad day, you ate stuff that's not great for you, just get back on track and just go from here on now, I'm moving forward. So don't beat yourself up, you can do it, and I'll talk to you real soon. Go to my website and sign up for my free newsletter. There's also a lot of great information to educate yourself and discover more about my books and my supplements.